Welcome to University of Phoenix Stadium, where they just finished overtime behind us, which shocking. Another overtime game involving the Cardinals.
Okay, last week was a rout.
Now,
People forgot that.
That's true. That is true. But the Cardinals down 13-0 at halftime. Didn't play all that great throughout the game, but they somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, I guess it's actually a good sign that you're a good team.
Yeah.
You can play far from your best and still win the game, and they did. And they were a beat-up bunch. They didn't practice very well apparently during the week. They really couldn't practice very much during the week because everybody was out, and they escaped. And I guess that's a sign of a good team.
Yeah, that's very true. There's a lot of things though that their coach Kemp was not mentioned that they're going to have to improve on. One being the offensive line. Bobby Mass, he was just doing his Matador impression. It was Olay almost.
Yeah, the middle of the line wasn't doing too well either.
That's true.
D'Anthony Batiste actually, I thought, had a good game. Didn't see much of him having any issues really. None of them did a very good job run blocking, but yeah, obviously Massey was a mess. The third down and fourth down plays that they needed at the end, they gave a little help finally with Hausler, and also they brought in Anthony Sherman to pass block on those two plays. So that helped. You kind of wondered, quite frankly, why they didn't do a lot of that earlier. They did some, but not very often. And Cameron Wake, who had 0 sacks before today, by the way, including 0 against the Jets' anemic right side last week, had almost a career in the first half.
Yeah, it was bad. And then on the other side of the ball, it was Devon Bess, who just tore up William Gay the entire afternoon.
Right, and then Hartline had 200 and some yards receiving from the Ohio State University, by the way, which won on Saturday, and they're still undefeated. But it was like Marino to Duper and Clayton out here instead of. I watched Tannehill last week. He completed less than 50% of his passes. There were balls he threw last week that nobody in the stadium could catch. And every pass he pretty much threw from the start today was on target, close to almost every throw. And it was, if they didn't hit him, I mean, he was hitting receivers without any problem. And Kerry Rhodes said, well, we wanted to make him pass. And, well, they did, and they almost lost because of it. But, it was kind of a bizarre game, which usually happens here.
Yeah, and the Dolphins with over 400 yards in passing, which Calais Campbell was surprised by.
That's true. He was a little stunned at that. But they held him to under 100 rushing. So that was their key. They wanted to stop the running game. Well, they did that.
On the flip side, it was such an up-and-down game for Kevin Cobb. That horrible interception in the end zone that completely swung the tide in favor of the Dolphins. But then he responded, led the Cardinals down to the game-winning touchdown to Andre.
I actually think he played a really good game, except for the one pass. And then I didn't realize until after the game that Fitzgerald was an ineligible receiver on that play anyway, by the time the ball was thrown, because he got shoved out of bounds by Sean Smith. So Fitz mentioned in the postgame he should have just fallen down or not come back into the field play, and that would have eliminated the possibility of the pass. I had no idea during the play that actually had happened. But I really thought, considering how much he got hit and he was under siege, I thought he played a tremendous game, considering everything around him, which was A, no running game, and B, very little pass block.
So the Cardinals, they're 4-0. They still lead the NFC West, but now they have a short week traveling to face the St. Louis Rams. And you mentioned at the very beginning they're a banged-up squad.
They are. A short week on the road against a team that just won and is staying at home. So that's not a good scheduling situation to begin with. And we'll see how they respond. This week they weren't able to practice much at all this past week. And they've only got 1 or 2 days of practice this week anyway. They're going to be able to do much tomorrow, so it's pretty much Tuesday. So I think it's a disadvantage definitely for the road team in this situation, disappointed logistically.
Now, there was also some big news over the weekend. Arizona State finally won at Berkeley.
They did.
They won in California.
They did.
And they looked like they were going to blow the game.
They did.
But they responded.
They didn't.
Well, you don't agree?
No, they didn't blow it.
Well, they didn't blow it. Yeah, what I was going to say is they didn't, and they came out with an actual, response drive that we haven't seen from ASU.
I thought the whole key to that game is that Taylor Kelly completed passes on third down. He didn't look real good parts of the other game. And I think he was, it wasn't as accurate as he has been, certainly. But on third down, he threw 2 touchdowns on third down passes. The touchdown drive, I believe it was 3 third down pass completions. And he made plays when the plays needed to be made. The other thing is that their front seven just completely manhandled California. even though I'm not sure why California didn't run the ball more, because when they actually used the called running plays, they averaged almost 8 yards per carry. But whatever reason, Tedford decided to wing it and throw it more, and that was the ASU's benefit. But 4-1 by this week, going to be 5-1 after Colorado, and the Kool-Aid stands will be sold out when Oregon comes to town for the Thursday night nationally televised game.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin Carpenter talked about that over on.
Who?
Yeah, that guy. Blast from the past for you there.
There's lots of blasts that I passed.
Well, we mentioned that, how that game's going to probably be overhyped than it should be with the Oregon goes into town.
Scalper's delight, that game.
And down in Tucson, Arizona had an opportunity to beat another ranked team at home, but unfortunately they let it slip away.
They blew it. I mean, they're not. They have to be smart to win, and they weren't. They were stupid. Scott played a good game, but his interceptions, especially the last one on a first down play, is just unacceptable. And they don't have enough talent to overcome stupidity, and they played stupid when it mattered a couple of times in the first half and at the end of the game, and they deserve to lose.
Another problem is the injuries continue to pile up.
Yeah, they got real problems in the offensive line. They got one guy who didn't play, and they lost 2 starters during the game, including Kyle Quinn, the center. Even though they got by with, the protection wasn't terrible after those guys left the game, but you can't have, I don't care how little he's played. I mean, well, he hasn't played enough. Well, I'm sorry. He's been around for 5 years. You don't throw a first down interception at the end of the game like that.
And outside of football, the Suns Media Day is on Monday. Alvin Gentry will be joining the Sports Zone.
He's scheduled to join me at 11:45 tomorrow, and also we'll have a media roundtable on Wednesday, and a lot of that will be the Diamondbacks, whose season ends on Wednesday, unfortunately.
And they actually lost to the Cubs, who, my Cubbies, they avoided going 0-19 on the road against the NLS. I didn't even realize. Impossible. Right, I didn't even realize that was possible. So we'll have more locker.
Do we have to redo this now since we mentioned the Cubs?
No, we can. I'll edit that out later.
Okay, that's even better. But we will have the media roundtable on Wednesday with a lot of Diamondbacks.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of post-game locker room sound from the Cardinals today. Todd Graham from ASU's road win in California. All of that on the Sports Zone tomorrow morning on the Fan AM 1060. So for Bob Kemp, my name is Rich Gray. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.